All right, well, I'm going to hand the microphone over to Cedric, and he's going to take it from here.
Thank you, Roxanne. I'm going to call on stage Meryl Job. I don't know where she is. She's here. Yeah, please help me welcome Meryl Job, co-founder of VidDressing.com. Okay, some of you are leaving. We just put the air conditioner on, so it will be much better for you. While we were preparing this conference, we wanted to have someone that is non-French and that started a company in France. And actually, we have quite a few. So even if you can find some people that will tell you that France is not, I mean, foreigners that could tell you that France is not a place to found a startup. Okay, if you guys want to leave, let's do it now. Because we were going to have a break in something like 1 hour with some coffee, and you will be able to network like 40 minutes break. So, yep, okay. Yeah, Meryl, you're actually American.
Yes, that's
and
right.
you started your company in Paris. So before asking you why, can you give me some background about you? Where do you come from?
Okay, well, I grew up in Minnesota, actually, and then I went to do a...
Closer to the mic, please.
Okay. I grew up in Minnesota, and then I went to do my bachelor's, my college degree in New York. And then I actually moved to France, and I did a master's in marketing and communication at l'ESCP, Paris. And then I went on to work in marketing departments at L'Occitane en Provence and Chanel. And then I started VidDressing.com.
Okay, so what is VidDressing.com?
VidDressing is an online C2C marketplace dedicated to fashion. Basically, it's a space where fashion lovers can buy and sell clothing and fashion accessories between each other in a very secure and professional environment. The site only charges, it's a commission-based business model, and we charge 10% commission. It's a flat fee, so it's very straightforward, very easy to use. The site also offers a money-back guarantee if you're not satisfied with the product, like in other B2C sites, which is a real competitive advantage for us and a real point of differentiation, because we're the only C2C site to offer this money-back guarantee. And we find it particularly relevant with regards to clothing and shoes, et cetera, where one can easily make a mistake on the size.
Okay, that's VidDressing.com, the product. What about the startup? How big are you? Are you VC founded?
It was more love money and business angel funded. We did a first fundraising before the site launched for 100,000 euros, and then we did another round of funding last summer for 300,000. And now we're currently in the process of raising a bit more funds. But
and you have a co-founder and a team of how many people?
I founded it with my partner Renaud Guillerme. So he's my co-founder, and today we're around 10 in the company.
All right. So now is the question: why did you start your company in Paris?
Well,
is it only because it's about fashion or about clothes? Or?
Well, that had a lot to do with it. It's a mix of opportunity and circumstance, really. I mean, I've been living and working in France, so I came to have a certain knowledge of the French market. Also, France is just a very dynamic market in terms of fashion. It's, Paris being the fashion capital of the world, there's so many brands and designers that emerge here, and that export internationally. I mean, French brands, fashion brands are really recognized, and there's a huge demand for French brands around the world. So that definitely had something to do with it. And also French women, tend to be very fashion forward, very fashion conscious. They tend to renew the wardrobes quite frequently. And I also saw, there was this big explosion of a blog, VidDressing blogs, where fashion bloggers were launching their own blog specialized in the resale of clothing and accessories, and I just really thought that this would be this concept would work really well in this particular market.
So we have what you're saying is that we have lots of fashion blogs in French by women or men, and doesn't matter.
True.
But yeah, again, it was a good market to start for you. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
And I mean, it's your first startup, right?
That's true.
But do you see it as something that has been more difficult than if you had started in the US, or do you share a little bit with some friends of you based in the US, some entrepreneurs?
I think there are some difficulties that someone who's just not French would perceive in starting a company in France. I mean, just because you don't necessarily know how the system works as well as, in your own country. So, tax laws are different, labor laws are different, regulations aren't the same. I was very fortunate in that my co-founder, who is French, also happens to be a former tax director of a big pharmaceutical company. And he was, the group, the international group director. So he really came to the company with a really solid knowledge of how the system works here, the legal system, the business system in France. And he actually really took care of all the formalities related to creating the company in France.
Okay, so you would advise any wannabe foreign entrepreneurs to partner with a French guy?
I just think it depends on what the person has to bring to the table. And I mean, I just chose a partner who happened to have a very complementary profile to my own. And I think that's what's important.
And what about language? We have some kind of debate on Twitter about this event in English, but you told us you sit at the ESCP, so when you started the company, you were fluent in French?
Yeah, I speak French.
Okay, so it was not an issue at all for you or something?
I don't speak French as you speak French, but I speak French fluently, and no, it wasn't an issue for me.
Okay, and so it was not a challenge. What are the main challenges you had as an entrepreneur?
I mean, I think as an entrepreneur, the main challenge is that there are just so many different tasks, and you just have to wear so many different hats. And I think contrary to when you work in a company and, hey, you want to recruit someone, you go to your HR department and you're like, hi, I'm looking for this profile, find me a developer, create the job description. No, as an entrepreneur, it's really, you're the one who has to handle everything. So you're the one who has to contact the recruitment agencies or, create the job profile. You have to do recruitment, you have to speak with investors, you have to negotiate with media partners, you have to bloggers, you have to speak to the press, you have to deal with the technical teams, there's just so many different hats to wear, and there are only 24 hours in a day. So it's just really doing all of these different things and still finding the time to think about and to develop strategy for your company to move it forward.
And on the opposite, what were the main opportunities you had, either because you're American or generally as an entrepreneur, something that helped you a lot to build your company?
I mean, for me, the main opportunity about building my company was just really getting the chance to innovate, to create something new. As far as I knew, vdressing.com, I mean, this kind of concept didn't exist anywhere else in the world, not as we do it. And so for me, it was just really the chance to create something new, totally different, to build it, to grow it, to continue to build it and to really take it to, to just keep trying to take it to the next level. So. And
you're not only American, you're also a woman.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
I know it's, I'm good, yeah? I'm very good. And it's Roxanne's favorite topic with girls in tech. Second, okay, first one is TechCrunch. How do you see? Is it? I mean, we can. I'm a man, so it's. I'm on eggs. Yeah. Yeah. Second, yeah, I'm very good today. Yes, thank you. But we can hear two sides of this story. Some women entrepreneurs will tell us that it's a big opportunity because they're more visible, they can have better contacts. And the other opposite, you will find some that will explain that they don't have credibility in the tech scene, that all that things. What is your position on that?
I mean, I think there are challenges and opportunities depending on whatever profile you have. I think also, I believe also in building, one's own opportunities. And for example, starting the company, we decided to start up our offices in an incubator that specialized in projects. At least one of the co-founders needs to be a woman. And it's called Paris Pionnière, and it's situated in near Bastille in the 11th arrondissement. And this is just the only incubator that's that has the specialization. And because of Paris Pionnière, we got a certain amount of press, particularly with aufeminine.com, who covered the 5 years of Paris Pionnière, and we got a certain amount of visibility with that. I mean, I had an interview in 20 minutes, which is a big, distribution daily, in also with regarding to Paris Pionnière. So I think it's, you just have to build the advantages, to build the opportunities with, I think, the cards you're dealt, and just to make the most of it.
Before taking questions from Twitter or from the audience, what are the next steps for viddressing.com? International?
Well, definitely to grow and to reinforce our position in France, hire some more people, continue raising money. Also internationally, we plan to open, to launch via franchise form a site in Brazil.
Why?
Yeah, because we had the opportunity. We were approached by people who are specialized in the physical sales of secondhand luxury clothing in Brazil, who contacted us, who just were looking at different sites, and who found ours and who just thought it was great and who wanted to launch the same thing in Brazil. So that's planned for the summer. We also have some plans for Asia. And we're also contacted by people who are interested in launching the same site in other parts of Europe. So we're definitely open.
So even if you're from America, there is no plan to build something there?
Oh, definitely. I definitely have, that's my biggest wish. But it's something definitely we're thinking about, and it's nothing.
I want to dig a little bit on that point. Is it? I mean, we cool thing. It's something easier for you because you have contacts. It's your culture. It's not enough to launch a US version of viddressing, do you think?
I think it's at this point I can't say much more about that, but it's definitely something we have in mind. Okay,
I won't dig any more on that. Do we have any question, Micah? Okay. Question from Charles. Meryl, don't you find that employment laws in France are an issue to help your company to grow?
I'm sorry, I can't.
The third one.
Oh yeah, in France are an issue to help your company grow. We haven't encountered up to this point, issues with that. We're really fortunate to have a very dedicated and hardworking team, and so up to this point, I can't say that we've encountered such so many problems with that. I'll let you know.
Do we have any questions in the room? No question? Yeah. Over there, here, Maxime.
Hello, Maxime from Credity. You're talking about international strategy. What were you thinking about why you chosen a French name for the brand? What was your strategy at the beginning?
It wasn't so much about choosing a French name for the brand, but it was choosing the French name that we chose, Viddressing, which is becoming like a common name, basically. I mean, all the blog, the Viddressing and everything. And so it's just a name because that's typed a lot in Google. It's just become a big search name in France, and so because of that, and because we appear on top of Google for this name, we just get a lot of free traffic from Google. So it was definitely helped us in this market.
And just before the next question, do you think because you're in the fashion business, you can keep this French name?
I think we'll see. I think and for Brazil, we're planning on keeping it because. In the Portuguese language, it strikes a chord. I mean, it's understandable. I think we'll see on a market basis.
Okay, we have a question.
Hi, I'm Lauren Kaliski with ZenList.
Okay, sorry.
Hi. Can you talk a little bit about your fundraising effort in France and your experience with that, and how you imagine if it's harder here or?
Well, earlier I think someone in the panel said that there was like a 1 to 100 ratio between France and the UK. Is that like, yeah? So I mean, there are. I think the funds here, I mean, there are perhaps a bit less funds available than perhaps in other markets in the US and the UK. So we've been very fortunate in that we've managed to raise at least the funds we've needed to at every step of our way. Not necessarily with the big VCs or capital firms, but a lot, with business angels and our own professional and personal networks. And that's really how we've played it and what's been working for us up until now. And earlier in the panel, a question was asked in terms of, do we invite? Have you ever thought about inviting, the users of your service to invest? And actually, that's something we did. After we were on a Capital show, on this TV show called Capital. It's a big primetime TV show, and it was in beginning of March, and it definitely boosted our traffic and our notoriety or reputation. At that time, we decided to put a link on our site, like invest in V-dressing, and we got just a lot of requests from people just really excited and really interested in doing that. So I mean, we were just a bit more creative, perhaps, in our fundraising efforts, but it's been working out for us. So.
Last question, if no, at the bottom of the room. If he still wants to ask it or not. No, not anymore. That was the one. Good. Here on the right.
Hello. After 15 years in world companies, I try to launch my own by the end of the year. I have 2 questions to you. The first one is, how long time did it get from start of from your company to build your offer? How long time did it take to earn your first euros? How long time did it take to becoming profitable, if you are? And if you have 2, 3 success drivers to share for the lunchtime period.
Whoa, lot of questions.
I'll try to take them in order.
Okay, how long?
Okay, so basically it took me about a year in terms of maturing the concept, thinking about it, and developing the technical side, because we didn't have a huge fundraising. We did it on the cheap or whatever. So we were going through independent developers, graphic designers, everything. So it took perhaps a bit longer than what it would if we had gone with an agency. But it took about a year between the maturation of the concept and the development of the site. In terms of building our offer, because definitely the force of any C2C site, as you probably all know, is the strength of its product catalog. And at the beginning, that can be one of the most complicated things because it's like the chicken and the egg scenario. So it's like, how do I get users to my site? I mean, how do I get product when those are also my clients? Getting sellers to the site. We had this strategy in terms of building partnerships. First of all, just to let you know, we don't do any sort of paid marketing. We haven't done anything up until this moment. We have a different kind of strategy, and it's really based on partnerships. First with fashion bloggers. We had 14 of the most, I think, influential fashion bloggers in France become our partners, so display banners, write posts, etc. And because this whole trend of V-dressing really came from them and came from this world, they were excited to communicate the service on this platform to to their readers. And so basically with them, we did 2 contests. The first one was, subscribe, become a member of V-dressing and you can participate to win a Chanel bag. And then the second one was along the same themes because the first one worked so well. It was, relayed by all of our partners that after like 2 weeks we had, 3,000 people enrolled on the site. And then the second one, we were like, okay, 2,000 people, we don't have enough product. We purchased some products, but it wasn't nearly enough. So then we did a second contest, was basically, where you could win some other luxury items. And if you sell something on the site, at least one product on the site, then you can participate in this contest and win one of these luxury items. And again, it worked really well. And after around 2 weeks, we had 5,000 articles, items put online on the site. And today, it's just, I mean, we're really fortunate. I think it's also because of our product offer, how it's structured, the 10% commission, all the advantages we offer, that without really communicating on the selling aspect, we're able to generate still around 1,000 products per day that come online on the site. So today, we have over 100,000 products online on the site.
Congrats. I want to end on that. And thank you for having shared with us all your experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you.